TikTok, a popular social media platform where you can express yourself and create short videos. And in creating content, it is quite normal when someone or something would video bomb or disrupt your recording. It could be something cute and innocent or just downright annoying. But what if your session is being disrupted, not by something cute or innocent, but something nefarious, even demonic? This is what happened to two young TikTokers from the Philippines. While they were doing their usual TikTok recording session outside a neighbor's house, a creature from the country's myth was preying on them. It was a quiet evening of February 7th, 2023, in Talisay City in Cebu, the Philippines. Two girls went to their neighbor's house in order to connect with their Wi-Fi, so they can record TikTok videos. After making a couple of videos outside, one of the girls named Abby saw something weird at the corner of her eye. She instinctively looked up the neighbor's rooftop. What she saw froze her. Something was watching them. It was a person, but there was something odd about its appearance. They had large, bat-like wings, flapping menacingly in the moonlit night. What's most bizarre of all, the creature had no lower torso. It had no legs. The creature smiled at her. Abby panicked. Her friend Vanessa asked what was wrong, but Abby didn't answer. Vanessa looked to the side, and there it was. She saw a back of the creature as it was about to fly. It flew to another rooftop. The winds blew hard in the still night. In the girls' abject horror, they naturally screamed and sobbed, scrambling to their parents. And their cries were recorded in video. The video made rounds in Facebook and TikTok, especially in the Philippines. Local news articles caught wind of the baffling case. The creature they saw was called the Manananggal. This creature had its roots from the Philippines' pre-colonial myth and superstition. It has always been associated with the dark or demonic side, even prior to the arrival of the Spaniards and acceptance of the Filipinos to Catholicism. The Manananggal is often described as a woman during daytime who would transform into a gruesome creature at night. Its upper body splitting from its lower half, with bat-like wings sprouting from its back. This is the defining and iconic feature of this mythical creature.
Brujo, Magtatangal. Dicen que vuela y come carne humana, pero cuando levanta el vuelo no lleva más que el medio cuerpo y por eso se llama así, porque es de tangal, que es desencajar. y el tal desencaja la mitad del cuerpo, y ese lleva consigo dejándose en casa el otro medio. Fraile Domingo, de los Santos, año 17, 1003.
Along with another creature called the Aswang, they are one of the most recognizable creatures in the dark pantheon of Philippine myth. The Manananggal with its upper body flies through the night searching for prey. While its lower half remains vulnerable in standing position, they often target pregnant women and use its very long tongue to suck its victims, particularly fetuses in the womb. Various witnesses and alleged victims tell their frightening tales. One story starts with a pregnant woman, all alone, fast asleep in her room. During one peaceful night, faint scratching noises were heard from the rooftop. The woman thought nothing of it, as she thought it was a mouse making such noise. Unperturbed by the sound, the pregnant woman shifts her sleeping position sideways. The scratching then followed to where her protruding belly was pointed at. The scratching sound at the roof was suddenly at the wall. When the woman shifts to another side, the sound followed her. Then the creature makes chittering, clicking, and squeaking sounds. There was no mistaking about it. It was the Manananggal. The noise only stopped at the arrival of the husband and the pregnant woman's brother coming into the house from a drinking session with their friends. Another story tells of a young pregnant teenager from a rural area of the country. A girl named Josefina was barely on her 4th-month pregnancy. Whenever Josefina sat outside their house at night, she would feel someone or something was watching her from the pitch-black shadows of the trees. Her house was just situated several meters facing the forest. One night, when Josefina was about to lock the plywood door, she heard a breathing sound outside. The heavy breathings became louder, then finally halted. Suddenly, the doorknob creaked as someone was trying to open the door. Violent pounds boomed. The attempts came to an abrupt stop. The ringing silence was mocking Josefina. Hours came and nothing happened. Josefina thought perhaps a robber tried to take advantage of a girl all alone and tried to rob her home. And after several attempts, maybe they gave up. The teenager almost fell to her knees in relief. She then saw one of the curtained windows was ajar and wasn't able to close them. She was fortunate that the trespasser didn't notice the other window. After Josefina collected herself, she went to the window and noticed something from the half-opened darkness. It was an eye, peering through the opening. A red serpentine eye of the Manananggal. It was trying to get inside and take her unborn child from her. These are some of the tales that keeps both young and old up at night. The best protection a potential victim can do is place garlic and salt around the house, and those that have potential ways in. Indeed, like any other folk creatures, it does not like salt, garlic, or the sun. The weakness of the entity is the lower torso, as it is usually left vulnerable. All one needed to do is sprinkle the exposed entrails of the torso with salt, as it unable to reattach itself before dawn comes. Another way of killing it is by using the bagakay, an ancient Filipino weapon, basically a 10-inch two-pointed sharpened bamboo used like a dart. Going back to the case, was the creature about to prey on a potential victim, only to be spotted by the two girls? Could the girls have just made it up? That would be the case, if not for other eyewitnesses who corroborated with the girls' claims. The sighting with the TikTokers was not the first case. This creature had been plaguing this small, peaceful community for months. Around the time the girl witnessed the creature, at the other side of town, an 18-year-old teenager named Jonrel was outside going about his way and was casually enjoying the videos on his phone, when a sudden gush of wind came. Bewildered, he looked around and thought it was odd. Then he looked up. There he saw it. Huge, dark wings flapping at the rooftop. What he saw was the back of the creature. Rattled, the boy screamed and ran away and told those he knew about what he saw. He was not the only one who encountered the mythic creature. Earlier, on the night of January 23rd, 2023, an adult by the name of Rick Delson walked out of their house to a grassy area. It was a quiet evening with only cricket sounds can be heard. Sensing the call of nature, Rick Delson made his way to a tree to take a leak. There was nothing out of the usual that night, until he heard a sound behind him. He glanced to where the sound came, and there, he saw a woman. It wasn't particularly strange to see a woman at that time in that area, but it was her position that alarmed Rick. She was hunched down on the ground, slowly and creepily crawling towards him. He couldn't see the face because of all the long, dark hair. He believed the woman was in the process of transforming into a Manananggal. When he told people he saw, they laughed at him and thought he was just joking. This laughter was short-lived, as another sighting happened on February 3rd, then the incident with the girls 4 days later, and another, a 60-year-old man claiming to have seen the creature on February 9th. This had a profound effect on the community that they started sharpening their bagakai bamboo sticks. They also started putting salt and garlic on the doorsteps, or hung it inside their house to ward off the creature. We know that the citizens saw what they thought they saw. But did they actually witness a Manananggal flying over their community? Or was it something else natural? One theory the police considered, that on the night of the incident, the girls spotted a burglar, whom they mistook for a Manananggal. The owner of the house the Manananggal was supposedly stalking, 71-year-old Albert Sampson, said he did not notice anything unusual that time, only the two girls screaming. Another article states the house owner did not even hear or notice strange noises at the time the creature was claimed to have been seen. And despite the best efforts of the both borough officials and law enforcement, they could not pursue the investigation due to lack of evidence and the miners' inability to fully describe their experience. Another theory is the creature both the girls and Jonrel saw that night was a giant bat, specifically a giant golden-crowned flying fox. It has large wings and wide eyes, both described by Jonrel during an interview and the girls when first describing it. Although the girls did have additional descriptions later in a local documentary show, with the creature's face smiling at her and the severed torso detail. It could be a sign the girls imagined certain details and unintentionally mixed with their memory of the event. Furthermore, giant golden-crowned flying fox had been the usual suspect in Manananggal and Aswang sightings in the Philippines, due to its human-like size. The Talisay part of Cebu did commonly have bats flying around at night, although most of them are small. The problem is, no giant bats were recently found in this area of Cebu, and this couldn't explain Rick's encounter with a woman hunched down on the ground. If the woman on the ground was somehow injured or in distress, there would have been news about it the day after. It could be a separated case, and it is unsure what has become of the woman in the investigation. There was no accident or missing persons report conveyed. Even with the theories, there are things that still doesn't add up and may likely stay that way until new information comes to light, or another sighting would occur. Could the thing the girls saw truly be a Manananggal? Or was it a giant bat? What about a man's strange encounter with a woman hunched down? Was it the same entity? Was it going to transform into a Manananggal and prey on the people of the peaceful town in Cebu? What do you think did happen? Let us know in the comments below. In the age of social media, it is quite difficult to discern truth from what is fabricated. But sometimes we accidentally record some things that are not made up and can't be explained at the same time. Have a good day, and thank you for staying for the After Hours.